Check on it.
To make sure that we should be live now. I think we should be good.
Somebody check.
It's up on the right.
Oh yeah.
Shalom, shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham,
and as you see, the title is called Esau Knows His Time Is Up. And actually, I think about it, I lost a group of clients as a result of saying that once, and because they knew exactly who Esau was or is,
They fine. They know how to deal.
So I want to read a scripture, and this scripture is is in Luke, because this is what's happening right before the face. We'll get set in order. Somebody can grab that.
Come on,
all right. But somebody get that. You got set in order before their eyes.
You said,
this is Luke 1:69, and it reads, start at 68. Blessed be Yahawah, power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people.
Personal pronoun again.
And he raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of David. So you got to remember when the Bible speaks of a house, it's talking about a race. A race of people, a family, a bloodline. Okay, something that in Christianism they like to try speak as if the house of David has nothing to do with the kingdom of heaven, when it's the complete opposite. The kingdom of heaven has everything to do with the house of David being reestablished. But it says, and he raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, and he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. And you can pretty much guarantee that the police departments around America, around Babylon, hate us. No matter how much they try to pretend like they don't, they're for the people, they are not for us.
The guy was in uniform. I think he was lieutenant or colonel. He was in uniform, and the police still maced his ass.
He's a second lieutenant.
In the army. Yep. You talking about second lieutenant army?
He was a second lieutenant of the northern.
Get out the car! I said, get out the car!
Yeah, and they treated him that way. He was a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army.
When he got the cop said, "Oh, okay." And he's maced his ass. That okay, let's know it was malicious. He said, I got something for you. He maced his ass in the car. Like, bro, he didn't get nothing wrong. He said, I'm scared for my life. He got his hands up. I'm scared for my life.
And then after he maced him, he said, get out the car again. He was like, I can't, somebody's seatbelt. I'm like, I don't even want to try to go make a move from a seat. He said, just go ahead and move. Like, I don't want to make a move. He got his hands.
Mace you again.
Yeah, but he maced about 4 or 5 times. He kept on macing him. He probably ran out of the mace in his fucking.
It was actually sick, and but that just goes to show you Jakes is in the military, man, or on the police departments. You are part of the problem.
Yeah.
You're part of the oppression. You're serving your oppression. You're serving your oppressors for filthy lucre's sake in a system that's built to destroy your people. The law is unlawful toward our people. It's unfair in every way imaginable. It does not work. And all them high-ranking police officers is Jake. You're just a bunch of coons who have sold out for filthy lucre's sake. That's dying. That's going away.
That's right.
But if you could, brother, play that clip of these. But guess what? Esau knows his time is up. They know. That's why they're gonna get so violent and come against Jake.
All right, this is the clip. I'm just gonna go straight to it, and play it from the beginning. Put some volume up here. Okay, hold on, that's a little bit too low. Hold on. I know I got it up. Hold on a second. I want to hear that. I gotta hear that.
Yeah, is it playing loud or not?
Got the volume here. Okay, then I'm gonna have to turn the volume here. All right, let me move this back a little bit slocky.
Versus a days are done, white man's days are done. No, I think you did, yeah. Well, it's true, the population of America is, we're in the minority, I think, at this point. Yeah. Every couple you see walking dogs, I mean, stuff, you don't see those,
So, so basically, what he said that we're already the minority, and see, you'll see the commercials and the different comedy shows, and they say we're going to be. No, you've been the minority.
That's right.
Matter of fact, we always talk about the 20 million baby making age adults that were lost, of the 40 million that were lost over the last 20 years to the opioids. All right. Go ahead, brother.
There's Obadiah 1:1. The vision of Obadiah that said the Lord Yahawah concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador was sent among the heathen. Arise, and let us rise up against some in battle. All these heathens are starting to hate you more and more, Edom. They're ready to take you off the map right here. Point. Behold, I have made you small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised.
Right.
So you are low in numbers, man.
That's it.
And who was he said? He looked to all the nations that swore to thee. Ben Franklin.
Right.
He said the Germans are swarthy. Everybody was swarthy except for them, the Brits, which that's what they took us down after the darkness. But they said everybody's swarthy, everybody's brown, dark, etc. And now your time of rulership, the veil you put on the world as you're this great mass of people because you got this power is being taken away, man.
See,
you can't hide.
The brutes are rising up.
That's it.
And see, there's I just did a video, a commentary. Well, I didn't watch the series yet, but there's an HBO series called "Exterminate the Brutes," and basically it's showing you the conquest, the violent conquest of that red dragon. Somebody get Revelation 6:4. Pull it up, brother. Extermination of the Brutes. It's and it's like a 2-minute clip, and it shows you from Cristobal Colon, also known as Christopher Columbus. From the slave trade that he began, to the slave trade of the transatlantic slave trade, all the way up into the slave trade of the Native American Indians. A lot of people don't know it, but the so-called natives, who are the tribes of Gad and Reuben in some cases, they were forced to build a lot of those missionaries. You know, a lot of those Christianity or Christianism. Missionaries that were built by Gadites in slavery. So for you black only Israelites that are always seeming to surface and open your stupid mouths to say some dumb shit, the slave trade began with the so-called Hispanics and natives, man. And they were copper colored, just like the brother on the screen.
It's a lot. Black only Israelites don't like so-called Native Americans. Stop listening to Michael Jackson on albums and shit.
That's right.
Those are so the Jackson families are Gadites.
Right. The Jacksons were not Negroes at all, but some of those natives that you say you hate so much.
All right. Simeon, right?
Khan.
Wait, Simeon, right?
Yeah.
And if you go into this right here, this is Brazilians. This is a picture right here, known to be a Brazilian slave ships. This was the slavery in Brazil. All right. The first people that were on those slave ships were the Taino Indians, the so-called Brazilians, the so-called Dominicans, Puerto Ricans.
People of what they refer to as Hispaniola.
That's right.
But if you would play the clip of that on YouTube, go to YouTube and put it on. It's like a 2-minute clip that breaks it all down. You know.
All right. Because I've
And I'm actually intending on watching this series. Because even though I watched the commentary on an Edomite that gave his commentary, he was watching it to see if it was one-sided and only picking on white people. Well, who's responsible for this shit?
Right.
And you're not white, you're red, by the way, and he was red as hell. All right, by the way.
All you've ever been doing is picking on people. So now you want to play victim.
Now they so offended.
Right. The rabbit got the gun now.
Right. Man, they wasn't. I saw a meme that said, it had a picture of George Jefferson and what was the dude from All in the Family, Archie Bunker.
Archie, yeah.
And they said, man, they wouldn't have made it through an episode of these shows.
Man, bro.
You know,
Archie, though.
Right, they was racist to each other.
they was racist to each other in your face.
and
Right.
it was glorified.
Monkey.
That was the
Wacky.
reason why they were that show, and that show lasted for a while. And it actually,
Those shows are iconic.
yeah,
You
absolutely.
know, those are iconic shows, man.
Shit, you went to watch it for the racism, because
White people,
even
Edomites watched the Jeffersons, man.
yeah, but
Knew the song and everything.
Sanford and Sons.
Sanford and Son.
They played on the
Huh.
racial divide. The Schmitty, the goals for the gays, all that. Yeah,
That's the sound. That's the intro to All in the Family.
those were the
Right.
days.
And so he put his word in the
Oh,
check, and he was racist.
They some vets with the Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, no, man. Sanford and Sons. They went. It was Jake against Jake with North Kingdom versus Southern. It was also Esau versus Bahasham. And even on Sanford and Sons, they show you that they told Fred Sanford said we were the Jews because they had the coats of arms and they had the coats of arms that was Negroes. But man, they told a lot back then, man.
Yeah.
And the thing is, nigga, they made it a joke.
Like
that
that episode of the
Weezy with the black, so-called black Jesus.
the Good Times.
Good times, con.
If
Weezy.
people was lost, that show is us.
You ready?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Not my. I'll let you. You can have him for a couple of days, but then after that, we're gonna put back white Jesus back up, okay?
Even though she said, well, good Lord, it does say that.
It does say that.
And what if she turned around? I got somebody that left a comment on my comment board. Well, I'm gonna have to do a response to it. It's very similar
That's
to
the
that.
Isaiah 3. They was leaving us destroyed our class.
Yeah.
Fucking niggas were.
Yeah.
Agree, the scriptures say it, but no, I'm still serve the white Jesus.
This is the one I know.
And this is Wasser. Oh, her ugly ass.
Oh man, that was one.
Man.
Hey, one of the brothers made a good observation. They said when they put the dark colored picture on, the house was cool. When they put the damn
Curses came back.
Edomite back up, they started getting fucked up again, man.
That's perfect.
They was getting blessed throughout the whole show when they had
Weezy. Well, maybe the Yahawashi, the dark Yahawashi. Yeah, with the red blood, and the bloodshot eye. That look like such and such a wine. Yeah, the wine. Yeah.
And you know what? You can't blame him. We call him a wine pepper. If you had to deal with hard ass Jake, you'd have been drinking too.
Well, he bear our infirmities.
And he was bearing exactly.
And a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. He had his own.
He was a friend with grief.
Acquainted. Meaning all the time. And then he says, a man of sorrows. He had his own sickness and he didn't heal his own sickness. How you got a sickness you don't heal yourself when you healing everybody else?
They scoffed him for that.
Yes.
They didn't understand the process.
Yeah, you're so mighty, get off the cross and won't you go help us? And then you got the other nigga
would say.
And you got other nigga out there who guilty as fuck. And you say, yeah, won't you go help me die down? Yeah. Man, some niggas, man. Man, that's why and I like the one of the brothers in Dallas was just bringing it out. How that's it's parabolic for the malfactor on one side being basically a 1/3, the other malfactor being the 2/3, and Yahawashi representing the elect. That's Yasharala. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we don't understand. Brothers who don't understand the office that we're given to manifest the truth and be bearers and we are the armor bearers of the Lord. That sounds like a lesson. We are the armor bearers of Yahawah. You know what I'm saying? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. We are his armor bearers. To have that office, to be committed with this, entrusted with this truth and this word, and you want to sit around and play motherfucking games, man, most I kill any so-called Negro, Latino, Native American that's in the so-called truth, but you ain't in the real truth. All right? But I'm going to play this clip.
Here is the story we have been told in Columbus's travel journal. They were discovered.
And how you discover somebody who's already there.
Right.
Stupid.
But there is no such thing
Yeah,
as
he said.
alternative facts.
I'm laughing at the bullshit.
There's no such thing.
There's no such thing.
I discovered the nigga who discovered.
There is something we need to talk about. 3 words that summarize the whole history of humanity: civilization, colonization, extermination. This is the origin of the ideology of white supremacy. This is me in the middle, and I just want to understand, why do I bring myself into this story? Because I am an immigrant from a shithole country. Neutrality is not an option. So you messed up. It's time to own up to the basic truth. The story of survival and violence. We know now what their task truly is.
And you saw the picture just went by. It was northern. Well, it was Judah, and then the Northern Kingdom. And I'm saying, and they had it as a Native American Indian. How we say the Judah, Negro, Latino, Native American. They just showed the.
That's pretty much
That's what that was.
Jeremiah 50:33.
Yeah.
Can you read that real quick?
And even the images, they were showing you images of slavery, and then they were showing you detention centers full of the Northern Kingdom.
Is it?
This is Jeremiah 50:33. It says, Yahawah hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that.
So how the fuck is the Native Americans, Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, Cubans, Dominicans, Brazilians, etc.? How are they not the Israelites, man? That black only shit is following, man. It said oppressed together. We got brought over here in slave ships and got oppressed. We got lynched. They was over here and got killed off and lynched as well. Right. That strange fruit applies to the Northern Kingdom as well. There's a book about it.
There's a book about specifically about Issachar being the hangings of the Mexicans being hung all over the American Southwest.
That's true. Yep. That last line didn't say what?
It's really gonna get. It says, and all that took them captive held them fast.
Ooh.
They refused to let them
500 years later.
Refused to let them go. So just as we're still in this land trap, the Mexicans, so-called Mexicans, all right, they can't even enjoy their land, man. For Mexico, they attribute you under the hands of Esau, Edom. And in this land, which America is a big portion of this land, up to Canada, it's still Mexicans' land, man.
That's right. They're natives. Mexicans, so-called Mexicans, are actually native to America.
All right. Yep.
They're natives.
Yep.
And you stole this land. You killed them. You raped them, robbed them, set treaties with them, broke every single treaty. And then what modern day Mexicans don't know, modern day Puerto Ricans don't know, modern day Chileans, Argentinians, Brazilians, that the people who came into power when Esau set them up with these pictures that you were seeing on the screen, with these Edomites coming over. And that matter of fact, I got to move back to that picture. That picture with all those boats coming over. Exactly. Yeah. Manifest destiny, all that shit.
How the fucking Napoleon got shit over here? So all this shit was set up, man.
Well, when you go back to those pictures, and I was trying to man, that's the one right here where I was going to, but it was when they was coming on the boat. You got to remember. See, that was Negro, Latino, Native Americans. That picture right there. That's Israel. But see, when they came over here, Esau set up Edomites over Issachar, which is the Mexicans. They set up Edomites over Puerto Ricans, the Taino Indians. They set up Edomites over Brazil, Edomites over Panama, Edomites over Belize, and all the different places. So you know what? Over time, when those Edomite leaders that were leading originally, they died off, they passed it on to who? Their sons or their daughter or their heirs or some other Edomite. Over time, those Edomites were mixed with Jake, and now they look like Jake too, but they're not Jake. They're still Edomites. And Edomites are ruling all those countries. So when those representatives come over here to the United Nations and in the United States of America and represent in the United Nations those particular countries, those are not original people of those lands.
The people down in South America that get put into the leadership positions are the sons of those and daughters of those Spanish conquistadors. They're Edomites. They're just Edomites that have a little brown skin because of all the mixture, the rape, robbery, and murder. It tells you when you read Delacase's memoirs and his notes,
Right.
How the slave owners were having their way with the wives of the captured slaves and etc. and their daughters.
That's it.
How they even raped the chief's wife right in front of the chief.
That's right. And nothing they can do
Right.
about it.
And so they were impregnating and making babies, and they made sons, and then their sons would grow up and marry other brown-skinned women, and now you got a brown-skinned race of Edom, a brown-skinned line of Edomites, man. So tares, that's the whole parable of the wheat and the tares. So that, so get going with that bullshit, man.
Sounds like I heard you want to
Yeah,
Go ahead,
that's on the book from British Honduras to Belize that Godfrey
Higgins? Oh, okay.
Yeah, page 25, it says, I'm going to read this, it's a little. It says, in an area that is now Belize, the Maya, the Zebulon, suffered and died on Spanish occupation. They were massacred and fled into the dense forests of central western Belize for security. The British Buccaneers pirates also attacked the Maya along the coast of Belize.
So they went island to island.
Yep.
See, this is what makes me mad, especially going back into the Dark Ages to even come over here to the Americas and from one native so-called Gadite tribe to another Gadite tribe. See, Jake, especially without the advent of the television and the telephone and so forth, they would come and take down one tribe and subjugate it and put people there in control and move on to the next one. And subsequently take down this area, that area, and then overall just wipe you all the way out.
And they use that program. As a matter of fact,
they still use it to this day.
That's basically the operation of the U.S. Military. The modern day military, what you just described is how they operate.
That's it.
All right. If you looked at the military as an arrow, and that arrow or that spear represents the Marine Corps, the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force. The head of that spear is the Marine Corps. They make the first penetration. All right. The support system behind them, the shaft that's the Army, because when the Marines take something, the Army's job is to come sit on it so it don't get taken back. All right. And then, of course, and then the feathers and the rest of the body of the shaft represents the Navy and the Air Force, which give air support and supplies, and that's their goal. The Navy gives supplies and transport and support, and so does the Air Force. And then you got your two ground fighting forces, which is your Marines and your Army. Now they got a space thing, which is going to be it's not going to help them at all.
That's right.
But nevertheless, that's what you just. The whole that's what you just explained. Go ahead, continue that.
It says the British Buccaneers of Paris also attacked the Maya along the coast of Belize. They raided and destroyed most of the Maya settlements along the coast, which is strategic, like you said. They also stole food, enslaved the Maya, kidnapped Mayan women and children. Some Mayans were even sold as slaves to the British plantation owners and settlers in Jamaica. Some were also sold as slave masters in the southern states of the United States, especially North Carolina.
That's why you can't. Some of those Mayans were actually Issacharites that got brought over to so-called the states. So you have people moving over here.
And to the Philippines.
They're right. Jake is so spread out. You don't know who's who. You can't. It's impossible.
Hey, go ahead.
Especially North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia. The region was a land suffering for non-whites because they was coming to power, but also prosperity for settlers from Europe, right? So it was suffering. Jacob suffered the curses, man. So Esau was taking their land, taking them over, man. That's part of the curses. Prosperity for settlers from Europe. It was Esau trying to prosper.
That's it.
Yep.
That's why I like that the title on the screen, a story of survival and violence. All we doing was basically surviving through a whole bunch of violence, because Esau is that violent man. I know. Go ahead.
This Micah 2:1. Most of them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beards. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their head. Job 9:24. Like earth gives in the hands of the wicked. The Lord gave Esau his time to rule. And you know what? Going back to the title of this video, he's at the end of this time to rule. The Lord gave him a proportion of time. He was supposed to fuck shit up. And he's been doing just that. He's been fucking the world.
Perfect devil.
Hey, don't you feel fucked? This dude said he's a foreigner. He said, but That's
Yeah.
not neutrality.
He said,
he been fucked up.
Right. He said, women, or he said, the cop said, all you see is mixed couples, the whites with Asians, Asians with Hispanics, Asians with black. And it's right. That's right. They're done. Because like I said, you got to remember, you can't discount that 40 million of them that have died over the last 20 years from opioids, right? And the fact that Esau pushed that career first, right? So they weren't having a lot of babies. And he pushed abortions as well. So a lot of them white girls, some Edomite women, go off to college. They fuck everybody, like all women do when they go to college. And they have a lot of abortions.
It was a TikTok. It was a like confession TikTok. Group of women getting together, wicked, right? All Edomites.
Can you find it? Bring it up.
Mackenzie, my nigga. That's Mackenzie.
Put it in the group. Put it in order. So
one more verse.
Because I got something right after you.
And I had some too. While he's pulling that up,
What the fuck, Mackenzie?
this is Isaiah 14:4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. All right. The Most High. Then it says, he who smote, verse 6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. He went and took down Gad. Went and took down
took down the Tawny heathens, the Swarthy heathens.
That's it. Yeah. He
Right.
went and took down everybody, even his own people. And then to the point where everybody on the planet is like, hey, finally, this motherfucker, read Isaiah 14 chapter, they say, Babylon is done, it's deceased, it's over. He said, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that shook the kingdoms?
Hey, the Chinese ministry.
You did? Okay, got it.
He said in how long America been around? 200 something.
240 years, and 200, and I think 222 of them they spent at war.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Chinese ministry said. He said,
so
you only had 16 years of peace, which they really never had 16 years of peace.
Right.
But your whole existence is nothing but war, brutality, and killing other nations, especially Jake. And all the other nations see this because they're fed up with Esau Edom, man.
Yeah. Just saw a TikTok today where they were playing a video, and the woman said, the guy was on it, and he was like, you know what I'm tired of? White people. And he was a so-called white man. And then there's a so-called white woman walking by on the next screen, and she stops and she listens, and she jumps to the screen and says, me too. So they even look, they right.
They are truly a nation divided.
They are truly a nation divided, man. But real quick, you I know you hold one, brother. Let me read this one. This is Ezekiel 22:2. And it says, now thou son of man, wilt thou judge the bloody city? Yeah, thou shalt show her all her abominations. So the Lord is going to judge his place, and all the abominations of this place is being put on Front Street now. All right? No matter how much you want to use the control that you still have over your media to try to sway the people and make yourself look innocent and like you're doing the right thing, the whole world and your citizens know that you're not. Only the dumbass sheeple, which is probably half of the population, still believe in this place. Lining up to get vaccinations. The rest of them, they ain't trying to get no max.
Well, they said out of the military, almost half of them are saying they're not trying to take the max.
Look, good that you said that. The police departments will not mandate it. You know why? So why would the police department not mandate it? Because they know what's going to happen.
And
to all the people who take it, they don't want to pay out what happens when everything goes bad.
That's it.
That's what I thought about it. Why wouldn't they man? So
why
they don't want to mandate it?
For the military.
They don't want to mandate.
They will lose over half their military. They will lose over half of their police forces. So they're like, you know what? We ain't gonna say nothing about that. So moving on to the next story. Here's Arsenio Hall, Magic Johnson, and Danny Trio getting the max. Hi everybody. Hey, I got mine. Come on, bro. All right, I got mine. Hey, well, I'm getting mine too. Look at that.
We saw that massive water shit. Everybody see through that bullshit. Yeah. Just go out. Just come out Well, just the last stage of martial law say you go get the chip or you get the bullet in the head. Or the other option just allow mysteriously said the Irish just mysteriously disappeared. You know, but you gonna do the other one. You know, you gonna cover your horns.
Did you have Slacky? Did you have a little bit more of that scripture? Yeah, a little bit more. Than he had one right before. So Slacky, go ahead.
Too, and they come and kill and take them by violence, houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house.
Only person who fits this MO is Esau Edom. That right there is Cristobal Colon's MO right there.
Well, in the beginning of that video, we talked about the three things: civilization, colonization, and extermination. And that's that right there.
That's it.
Even the man in heritage, that's what they done, man. St. John 10. He came down, but they still kill and destroy. That's what Esau's been doing. If not, who is he, man? Who else has done this throughout history? You guys started with Greece, then Rome redid it, and on a whole nother level, and now America was Rome 2.0, man. Nobody else did. Babylon didn't do this. Babylon didn't take away our heritage.
Or the Persians or the Medes.
Right, no. They at least let us, Babylon took us right back to 70 years. The Persians told, they paid us to go rebuild it. They paid us to go rebuild our own land back.
But Salaki, Babylon didn't take us out all of Israel.
Oh, no.
He let Jeremiah go. Babylon let Jeremiah stay in Israel. He let other people stay in Israel and take them to the land and so forth. The only people who take you away from your land and take your land and take your heritage, that's the spirit, right? At the same time, and take your culture and heritage and your race on top of it, it's Esau Edom, man.
They give you those false labels, all those
bywords
and proverbs.
Curse you who removed the landmark. Esau was that cursed people. I agree with you, man.
That's it. That's it. No, I'm saying that's why the Most High is going to exterminate your red ass after you serve your 1,000 years.
That's right.
Man, because that's all I was about to say. That's all part of the prophecies, man. You know what I'm saying? This is all part of the will of the Father, you know, and we just bringing it out. That's why the Lord said in Psalms 82 to the men of the Lord, hey, how long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? You know what I'm saying? It says, hey, rid our people from the hand of the wicked. That means we first and foremost got to let you know that there is a wicked nation of people who were made to be that.
That's right.
And they were going to be given a time, all right, to rule. Okay? And matter of fact, this is Revelation 6 and 3. It says, and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, come and see. Verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another.
Hey, now he done now
World War I, World War II, Civil War.
Yep.
And all the wars in between. They've been doing nothing but killing one another and everybody else.
Yep.
Ain't no more violence worse than the so-called white on white violence. That is and white on everybody else violence. That is the worst violence the world has ever seen. When John Lemon said what he said, was it a little over a year ago, that maybe it's time for us to look at the problem, and the problem is what the white male in America, because it is a white male with a gun is gonna. There'll be another mass shooting within a week or two.
Absolutely.
Somewhere.
Well,
They're
probably not reporting how many it is.
And then they'll downplay it, or they'll wait for the story with something with Jake to drown it out. And just not paying attention to it out there.
That's it. Finishing this, it says, and there was given unto him a great sword. All right. And this is what this man MO is, because that's what he was made to do. Now, what we do is we pray the Lord to hasten that day of his return, to just like the elder kicked it off with that Luke, you know, saying that the Lord is coming back to save us from our enemies, man. And these are the enemies of these other nations. And Esau Edom is the number one enemy. But this is Psalms 55 and 9. It says, destroy, O Lord, and divide their tongues. For I have seen violence and strife in the city. All right, and this is what's going on. So you know,
Ecclesiastes
51
talks about
55.
55.
Which one? Psalms 55 and 9.
In the book of Ecclesiastes, it It talks about if you see injustice happen in the city, marvel not. So one higher than the highest.
It's
All
right.
right, that's the
They'll be
Lord.
higher than they.
They'll be higher than they. So the Lord is watching them. And what he do, he divided them. He got that division. That's why the elder Malcolm mentioned he saw that one Edomite said, I'm tired of white people. Another Edomite said, me too, I'm tired of white people. And you got all these other actual Edomites, not see the faces or speckled birds, however you want to put it. These are actual Edomites saying that because the Lord is dividing them now.
Right. Yeah, because ultimately he's given them that power to be in power, but the scripture says that they have a bound that they cannot pass. And you know, that's why in that Isaiah 14 that the elder got, the nations are being stirred up because they see the division, they see the downfall, they see the corrosion, they see the
Our thou become weak as weak.
That's right.
They see this.
Yeah, best time to attack your enemy is when they're fighting among themselves.
And this is perfect. This is what the Lord set up. The Lord made this, and it made me so mad because I was talking to a particular individual over a couple of days ago, and this like the Bible was set up to divide our people, and that's not good for us. Well, they don't understand. The Lord Yahawashi said right here in Luke 12 and 51 that he did set up everything to be divided right now. Because you know why the Lord is dividing shit? Because everything is fucked up. So what you need to do, divide the wicked from the righteous. That's why the Lord is doing this dividing. Not because he just wants some fucking division, man. This is Luke 12:51. Suppose ye, this is Yahawashi speaking, that I come to give peace on earth. Now, what's the Christmas song? Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with man. It ain't gonna be peace on earth because the Most High. How is gonna be peace on earth when you got one man at the top fucking over the whole planet, man?
Yeah.
All right.
It can't be peace on earth without our Lord ruling. He is the Prince of Peace.
That's it.
That has a system of suppression and oppression.
That's it.
All right, geared toward everyone that doesn't look like him, especially
the negro, Latino, Native American. That's right. This says, suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth, I tell you, nay, but rather division. For from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son against the father, the mother against the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And this is in America, this is in the UK, this is in South Russia, Australia, all throughout the planet.
It's worldwide now because Esau has been exposed. That shame was doing is upon his name. So his household, they know they're going down. You got those. You got them that's like, well, fuck it, let's fuck shit up. And then you got them that want to make peace with his victims. This is they should seek the news report. This is Rock 41:7. The children will complain of the ungodly father because they shall be reproached for his sake. So now you got those Edomites that's like, well, we got all this white privilege. We got this, no, it's time for this for the niggas, etc., man. But that's them, they know their time is up. That's the wise steward, man. The wise steward knew to make friends with other people because his time is up. That's them. Then you got the other Esau, also wise stewards, the Edomites, wise than Israelites, like it says in Luke 16. They're wise than our own people. They know their time is up, so they're ready to fight for their kingdom. That's the fight. You got them ready to fight for their kingdom, and you got them that's trying to make friends with them that they know is next. Well, let's make friends. Let's be peaceful. It's too late, bitch. Your peace ain't real peace, man. You can't. You have to kill yourself. You gotta kill your family. You gotta kill your dog. Before you do all that, you gotta give us everything you took. What you can't do, you can't give us our lives back, and you can't take the satisfaction from us to wash our feet in your blood. You can't just kill yourself. You gotta let us kill you. You gotta line up. You gotta make the what's it called, man? The rifle line, when you got the gun line balls, right? You gotta make that. You gotta do all that. Let us wipe you out.
Firing squad.
Right. Write a contract. We gotta put you in slavery when you're reborn, and you ain't gonna do that. The Lord is gonna put you under us, man. Then we're gonna get true reparations. Man.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the process. That's how they make.
Hey, that's it. That's all a part of the prophecies, man. That's what the Bible says is gonna happen, man. We just here to tell you, man. Whether you here or whether you go back.
That's right. That's right.
My name's Ashlyn. I got a restraining order on my mom's boyfriend. Yeah. My name's Mackenzie, and I let 2 men nut in me within 12 hours of each other.
So now, hold on, I'm gonna play this again. But just know that madness is coming out of their mouth, which is against and hurting other people. They're celebrating and exalting it. I just want to put that point. I'm gonna play it again.
It gets worse. Mackenzie wasn't gonna- that's the funny part.
Right.
This is something that Malcolm said. It gets worse.
Kind of. Well, let me shut up and let it play.
My name's Ashlyn. I got a restraining order on my mom's boyfriend. Yeah! My name's Mackenzie, and I let 2 men nut in me within 12 hours of each other.
I'm Emily. I'm 21, and I've been robbed twice.
Hi, my name's Cassidy. I'm 20 years old, and I'm an alcoholic.
My name's Maddie. I'm 21, and I almost cracked my skull off the back of a stranger's motorcycle.
My name's Raina. I'm 20, and every time I drink, I end up in the hospital and buy national punch cards. Yay!
My name's Emma, and I am pregnant until Thursday.
Pregnant until Thursday. They celebrate. That was what Elder Malcolm said about them being called among the people, man. They celebrate abortion. They get more abortions. They get more.
So I guess when I was not doing this, then they was like,
"Shut up, niggas."
Look, where you at now? Here I am. It's like they don't want.
Hey, hey, Apostle Goodbye said, man. The state of a nation by its women, man.
Well, they celebrated the abortion. They celebrated.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta report. For one, you can repopulate or increase the numbers in the prophecies, but then you also by your own means destroy yourself. I'm pregnant until Thursday.
Right.
The bitch, they celebrated her getting this
Abortion.
pre-planned abortion.
A murder.
It's pre-planned murder.
Because
Yeah,
abortion is not the word. Abortion is murder, and you cannot play games. Anytime once that sperm cracks that egg, that's life. You cannot kill it. You cannot get rid of it. And for you to say it's my body, it's my choice, that means it's your choice to be destroyed.
Somebody else's body.
There you go.
Right.
There you go. If you want somebody awful abortion, you have to kill yourself, bitch. Then it's like, well, you killed yourself. Your body, you killed yourself. Otherwise, you just committed murder. But now you're killing somebody else.
Pretty much. And I saw a meme like that.
That's it.
Where the doctor used a medical term and basically she was saying, this is your body and this is the baby's. All right. Yeah. So my body, my choice. No, but that body ain't yours though.
Right. And guess what? The body that was put into that woman did not come from that woman. It came from a man. So you just killed that man's seed and that seed, and the Most High is gonna kill you. Period.
Hey, Zaquan, remember that thing you used to say? She was like, "Oh, I'm pregnant. My mom's gonna kill me." Then the baby's like,
"Oh,
right,
my mom's gonna kill me."
Yeah.
You brought that out. Hey, but that's what it is, man. Oh, because the scriptures talk about what the scripture says. It says those merciless murderers of children.
Wisdom of Solomon 12.
Anybody know what that said?
We'll get it.
On either side, by you destroying your own child, or by you doing that adrenochrome bullshit. Right? I can only imagine the amount of blood and death of children that have taken place here in Babylon, man.
You women been giving them over.
Because this adrenochrome thing has only come out in these recent years, man. And this is something they've been doing for hundreds of years, man, if not thousands.
That movie Awake came out years ago before the term adrenochrome got made famous. They showed that movie Awake supposedly when they kept people in a sedated state. They can only hear and see what's around them. They can only hear what's around them. But then when the time came, they would put fear on them. They would take the adrenochrome from them.
Wow.
It's Jessica Albertson.
That's
crazy. It's called Awake. You'll love it.
Yeah, I have to peep that.
It's called Awake.
So they make you get fear, and then they take the blood when you're scared as hell.
Chemical medicinal coma.
Chemically induced coma, and then scare the shit out you.
Wow. But then but when you watch it, supposedly you listen to what they saying around it. That's really going. That's really
wow, I'm gonna have to peep that. And then that movie, and I never would have thought that the continuation of The Shining would be like it was.
Man, bro.
I never
Man, bro.
Because both those movies are awesome.
Man,
but damn, but Doctor, they do link up.
I mean, the storyline is crazy how they put that in there.
But it's the turn that it took.
Yeah.
Hey, because when you watch The Shining, see the thing is, you know, when you watch The Shining, you can get kind of wrapped up into like the ghostly part about it.
You get wrapped up in a part of the power that they both had.
Yeah.
And how they can communicate with each other and communicate with spirits. And not realize that you got some people who desire that spirits of those people that can do that, their blood.
And those people that was in them hotels, those were elites. Those were all fucking demons. Because he was talking about, because when he met him in the bathroom, he said, yeah, you chopped up your wife and your kids, man. You chopped them up in little pieces. He said, I know who you are. That's the first one. That's The Shining.
Yeah.
They was sacrificing, those was elites in that.
It also shows you reincarnation.
Yes.
Because when they looked on the old picture, because The Shining was made what, in the early 80s, late 70s? But they looked at them old black and white pictures, and he had lived again. He had done that shit before. In the past, he was on the old black and white picture from the 1920s in the same spot. So that movie those movies revealed a lot. That goes to show you that Esau, Edom knows a lot, man.
Hey, well, in Dr. Sleep, the one who ended up dying, right? He said the lady, what's her name, Rose, she's a fucking demon. She was telling him, she said, don't worry, you're a titan. You lived for thousands and thousands of years.
Right.
When he was giving up
the old one, yeah.
The old one, he was finally dying. When you actually read the book, it gets a little bit more graphic.
I bet you.
They was going in on the children, man. That whole children sacrifice is heavy in them.
Yeah.
You know?
When the little boy begged them and asked him, he said, well, when he finally, and it's sad, when he finally realized there ain't no way out of this, I'm about to die. He was asking her, well, at least will you not hurt me? Are you gonna at least not hurt me? Yeah. And she was like, we're gonna hurt you.
Right.
It was fucked up.
The more pain
the more pain they in.
Right. That's what gets off in the training call. Is that it's the fear, because of these different hormones and different whatever the fuck endorphins in the blood. Yeah. That's what they want, because they use that to get. Look at that 99-year-old fucking Prince Henry who just fucking died. How does this motherfucker have 15,000 goddamn pacemakers and transplants to watch the parents? Because they do this.
And they sacrifice people for that. And as a matter of fact, you've had people make videos about it. A lot of these jakes that be getting shot up and killed in the hood. Yes. You know, they be taking their organs and shit. You know. And all
milk cartons.
Yeah, and then not only that, you know, over there, it's been a known secret. They've been harvesting the organ of all them Ishmaelites, all them Ishmaelites over there in the so-called Middle East. A lot of them Palestinians that have been killed by the thousands by them Amalekites, man.
Oh, I got one.
Go ahead, brother.
This is Wisdom of Solomon. This Wisdom of Solomon is at 16. 16. Wisdom of Solomon, I believe 16:3. It was thy will to destroy by the hands of our fathers both those old inhabitants of thy holy land, whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcraft.
Most what?
Most odious. Works of witchcraft.
See, you all don't know the Most High, man. The Most High does not fuck with people who go on the left hand side. With Esau, Edom, in the left hand side, just like it's odious. That's right. That means it's a stink to his nose. It's odoriferous odor that he does not want to smell. All right. That's how the Most High feels about your prognosticators, your goddamn your TV shows, your goddamn your sodomy, and all those things. The Most High is vehemently against it.
I got the definition real quick. Odious, deserving or causing hatred.
Oh, so it's deserving or a cause of hatred.
Hateful, detestable.
Oh, strongly detestable.
Highly offensive.
Oh, so it's highly offensive to the Most High.
Repugnant.
Oh, repugnant and repulsive.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
You're a mean one. Mr. E.
And this is what the Most High is
not just offensive.
Right. Highly offensive. So hit that again, brother.
You're a mean. Oh, the scripture.
Okay.
Scripture. This is what it is. Solomon 16:4. Whom thou hatest for doing most odious works of witchcraft
Most
and wicked
odious.
sacrifices.
And wicked sacrifices.
And also those merciless murderers of children.
So you sit there, now you got these, you know that the children on the back of these milk cartons for the last 20, 30, 40 years of my life, Esau Edom takes these kids.
They don't even put them on the cartons no more.
No, they done with it. I haven't seen a milk carton with the kids on them in 10 years.
Or just the ones you got in the mail. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You used to get the one in the mail.
Have you seen this kid?
Yeah.
And you know that kid been mixed in with McDonald's hamburgers.
Yeah.
That y'all heathens in Babylon and ate the fuck up.
Even 10 years ago, you walk to the grocery store, you see all the missing flyers on the wall at the entrance.
Yeah.
They don't do that no more.
Yeah.
They don't put missing flyers up no more.
You just gone now. Hey, America's
That's a scum and a scab on America. Matter of fact, one in Ezekiel said that prophesy against Mount Seir.
Yeah.
Somebody grab that real quick and let me read this. This is Ezekiel 25 and even though this is talking about the rebellious house, well, you know, but that everything is manyfold, twofold. All right, but this is Ezekiel 24 and 5, and it reads, take the choice of the flock and burn also the bones under it to make it boil well again, to let them seethe the bones therein. Wherefore, thus saith Yahawah power, woe to the bloody city, to the pot whose scum is therein, and whose scum is not gone out of it. Bring it out piece by piece, let no lot fall upon it. For her blood is in the midst of her. She is set upon the top of a rock. She has poured it not upon the ground to cover the dust. Con, that it might cause fury to come up to take vengeance. I have set her blood upon the top of a rock, and it shall not be covered. One more. Therefore, thus saith Yahawah power, woe to the bloody city. I will even make a pile for great fire. Of the fire great.
Like they started off with, that's metaphor, because of course, at one point that's to Israel, but what did Yahawashi say? To Israel, wicked is like the father of the devil. So that's the same breakdown for Edom, man, because they don't hide this shit no more.
No more.
What Job say, he say the sweet under their tongue, the sins of his youth is in his bones. It's the same devil from before. They still doing that same wickedness, and they still coming for you Israelites, man. What Biden go on TV and say, we gotta make sure we get the Black Native Americans first with this vaccine. The one nigga called it medical reparations.
What the fuck? Yeah.
They really want to come for your ass, man. This is that new bloody city.
And for the record, out of all of us who need reparations, and we all need it badly, I do not want your medical reparations. I would want gold and silver.
I want what the Lord wants.
Exactly. And true reparations
That's
means
what I want.
blood. Because what the Lord wants was said.
Nahum 30.
Exactly. And blood was shed. Grab it. If blood was shed on this land, that means only way for repayment would be blood for the heathens to be shed on this land. That's true reparations, man.
I think real quick. They won't create one. Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery.
Perfect.
The prey departed not. So go back to the Malcolm this read. This is that new bloody city, man. We ain't in power no more. Esau Edom is full of that scum, man. I'm gonna jump down. I'm gonna read through a Bible shop.
That's
the
right.
noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots.
And that's your military, your modern day military with your helicopters, your Humvees, and all kind of the super tanks. Go ahead.
The horsemen lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spirit. So back in the right says your tanks,
missiles.
And there was a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there was nothing but their corpses. They stumble upon that corpse. There's going to be a lot of motherfuckers run over by tanks and shit, right?
How many times I said there's going to be bodies on the ground in America like leaves that falling from the tree?
Right.
You ain't going to be able to run down the street without stepping over a body, man.
And that stank is going to be so horrific.
It's going to be horrific, man. And the rat's going to be eating on them. The stray dogs and birds going to be eating on them.
Oh man, them straight animals, these straight cats and dogs. They gonna be
feast.
Yep.
Verse 9. Behold, I am against thee, said the Yahawah, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee bow, and will set thee as a gazing stock. So your filth will not be hidden, man. You are that new Ezekiel 24.
His filth won't be hidden. Over there in St. Vincent,
right?
That volcano's going off and killing people,
right?
And they're not rescuing Jakes, and they're not rescuing the ones
unless you have
only the ones who got vaccinated.
Right. So wait a minute. I can't get rescued because of my religious beliefs. I can't get rescued because I just happen not to
Wait a
go.
minute, I thought that's part of the Bill of Rights. That's what America was about. You got freedom of religion. Ain't that the First Amendment?
Yes, right.
Freedom of speech, freedom of religion.
But that's for Esau, wasn't for Jake.
And
then you got Jake
America is being governed off maritime law.
That's it.
America is being the Constitution. If that's going to show you how weak and how pathetic and how stupid the average American is, because that's the reason why you got lawyers. Lawyers are sworn into the bar. The bar is British. I think it's British Admiralty Royal Registry or something to that effect. America is not. The American citizens are being governed over by maritime law. They're using foreign laws to govern American citizens. That's why it's called case law. And so they're not being judged by constitutional law, man. So America should be at every city hall and every city and in every government's in every governor's place of business with their shotguns and their rifles. For taking them out of power, man. Yeah. The fact that you got the Federal Reserve that basically is another branch of government that actually supersedes your three elected branches of government.
That's not official.
And nobody voted for none of those motherfuckers. Right. So you Americans, man, y'all pathetic, man. Right. And America neither does it respect or take care of its own citizens or judge its citizens by the law that they so-called forefathers made up for them.
And see, this type of information, man, is all part of Esau Edom being made bare. All right, all part of his circling the drain. All right, I got a quick one in this Job 20 verse 5. It says that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Right. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, all right, and his head reacheth unto the clouds, yet shall he perish forever like his own dung. And this is starting to happen right now. It says, they which have seen him shall say, where is he? All right, I'm gonna jump down to verse 15. It says, he that swallowed down riches, and he hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly, because the Most High is the one who has delivered the power into their hands, but just for a moment, for a time of bounds that they cannot pass. All right. It says, he shall suck the poison of asps, and the viper's tongue shall slay him. The viper's tongue shall slay him. And then you read, divide their tongues, right? That's right. Hey, that's what it is. It reminds me of the image with Conan with the two serpents. He said, I see a symbol of two serpents, and they're facing each other. Esau is just like that. He's eating himself, man.
Yeah, pretty much, man.
Why you eat yourself? Why you eat yourself? Why you eat yourself? Hey, see, but this is all part of the prophecies and the will of the Father, and he's using his own. He's using them to also take them down. Right. You know, he's using their own selves to take their own selves down. It says they shall fall upon their own fate. All right, in verse 17, it says, he shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. That which he labored for shall he restore, and shall not swallow it down. According to his substance shall the restitution be, and he shall not rejoice therein.
According to his substance,
it says, according to his substance.
So all the shit you got, You're talking about all the gold that they got in the Federal Reserve.
You can run that.
You got all the silver.
Well, look,
you know,
Morgan. What is cash at? What is stash at? The past at?
You talking about J.P. Morgan? They got a certain of their higher ups got in trouble because of their manipulation of the silver stock prices and so forth. All they've been doing, they cornered the silver market, they cornered the gold market. All that shit that they've been stacking and storing up is all lost.
That was a part of their strength, right?
Yes.
The Hebrew word for substance, all right, is chayal, which is strength, might, efficiency, wealth, army, force. All right, so all that resources, power, goods, his own self, virtue. You know what I'm saying? His own self. It says that according to his substance shall the restitution be. Now this is the Hebrew word for restitution. H8545.
Run that.
Exactly. Thamawara. And it says that which is exchanged, change. Just like you just said, what was that that quote, Elder? You just said that rap.
Lil Kim. She said, "Where the stash at? Where the cash at? Nigga, pass
that." So it's gonna be exchanged. It's gonna be changed from one nation of people to another. Yeah. And the actual definition of restitution is reparation.
You gotta go to court. Say you break somebody's crib and you steal some shit. When you go to court, you gotta pay restitution. You gotta pay back the value of what you took.
That's it.
Esau gotta pay back what he took. He took lives. He took eye for eye, tooth for tooth, life for life.
Hey, what?
Life for life.
That's it. This is the rest of the definition of restitution. Reparations made by giving an equivalent or compensation for loss, damage, or injury caused. It says the restoration of property or rights previously taken away or surrendered. Restoration to the former or original state or position.
God, so you're gonna have to relinquish our heritage, man.
Everything.
You've been claiming to be us.
That's it.
And you even got laws on your fraudulent, unlawful system. All right, that says that identity theft is punishable by prison, man.
Yep.
You know, and he did. The brother showed me this. BAR means British Accreditation Registry, and the reason why they have the bar and the lawyer system in the first place is because it creates an economic system, and so that's what it's all about. So it creates this economic system where they're able to set up all these contractual laws and all this other bullshit that they do,
and hide it under the terminology of a bar
and hard
this and that.
It's safe for this law. They're able to do shit under the color law.
That's
what it is, and make money, like the Title 4D system,
yes,
right, and many other systems.
Now watch, this is off the page of the Illinois Attorney General's office. Why is anything to do with the crown on here, which is British? This is right here.
Nothing off the crown have nothing to do with anything in law in America. But
in considering the powers of the Attorney General, the Supreme Court in Fergus versus Russell noted, under our form of government, all the prerogatives which pertain to the crown in England, under the common law. I'll read it again. It says, in considering the powers of the attorney, the Supreme Court in Fergus versus Russell noted, under our form of government, all the prerogatives which pertain to the crown in England.
So guess what that means, dumbass Americans? England still rules
America.
Period. Dumb fuckers.
This is the site is right here, Illinois Attorney General. So this is where you get your law shit from here in Illinois.
And so you're not being governed by your so-called constitution.
No.
At all.
No. And it says
I mean, everybody that's in office is in office illegally, according to your own shit.
Yes, sir.
Dumbasses.
Under our form of government, all the prerogatives which pertain to the crown in England under the common law are here vested in the people. And if the Attorney General is vested by the Constitution with all the common law powers of that officer, it devolves upon him to perform all the common law duties which are imposed upon the officer, that he becomes the law officer of the people as represented in the state government, and its only legal representative in the courts, unless by the Constitution itself or by some constitutional statute that has been divested of some of the powers and duties. This is a Supreme Court deduction quoting and pulling off the Crown, and this is on the Illinois Attorney General's website.
Right.
And we, Ritaz, how long ago did I pull it? I just been years. Yeah, periodically it'll come up. We'll dust it off, and guess what? We've had multiple different attorney generals, Illinois attorney generals, and they never changed the page, showing you that.
I was certain when you went to say it's gonna be gone.
No, because
they're not worried about no dumbass American reading shit.
That's it.
At least not the masses.
That's it, and that's not the first time. It's actually multiple times. I just pulled the first one I pulled off, but you go read. Yes, it's multiple ones. Yeah, and it lets you know that our so-called sovereign Illinois state is still governed off the crown. All right, which is Europe. All right, and now that makes sense why let Prince Henry die, and what the American news doing? Oh, Prince Henry. Oh, Prince Henry. Oh, let Merkel. No, not Merkel. What's the Meghan Markle, and the prince, whatever, had their beef. Oh, wow, what's going on? Why is Obama, which was supposed to be a president of the United States, bowing before the Queen? When you bow, when a sovereign, supposedly Obama, bows before a so-called sovereign, that lets you know they're not sovereign. All right, that's the subservient bowing before a king. When two kings meet, they'll both right here do one of these, which is acknowledgement of each other.
Right.
When you do this and break that waist, that's obeisance.
Right. What they're saying is that I'm a king, but you're a king over me.
Exactly.
That's the shit Xerxes was saying.
And that's what
what did Xerxes say? He said, "You steal your lands, your armies, keep them.
Right.
Just bow to me."
Right.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be a king.
Right.
You know.
You're gonna be a vassal.
Right.
You're gonna be vassal.
Yeah.
Water and sand.
Oh, you got earth and water, man.
Earth and water. Yeah.
Hey, what's why Scripture says your mother shall be so confounded, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, at the end of the day, man. But see, the thing is, America was just an experiment, man. That's why these elites don't have no problem letting this shit go to shit and be destroyed. See, you people thought you had it in America.
And the head of elites, the heads of the elites were English.
Yeah.
That's be your Rothschilds.
Right.
Your Rothschilds were running shit, man. Yeah. And they family over here, the Rockefellers, are nothing but Rothschilds. They changed their name to Rockefeller to disguise it.
Yeah.
The Rothschilds and the Rockefellers are the same fucking family.
That's it.
Hey, that's the American dream. Nigga, you was just dreaming.
Yeah,
wake up,
look. This is so-called American president bowing to Moab. Okay, here go them so-called American president bowing to the sheiks. Okay, the Arabs. The Arabs. You have to understand there's a hierarchy in the planet, and when you see, like, look, he's bowing. That means you're underneath them. When we men of the Lord, we don't bow to each other. They look like seeing that. We'll go there. Hey, that's not a bow. That's me as a king. If the king, you came into the king's court, he's sitting on his throne, and he sits up there and says, and he gives you a head nod. That's him allowing you to come into his presence. That's enough. He's not bowing to you. When you bust them that waist and you fucking bend that waist, you're now putting yourself under the person that he's bowing. He's bowing to him. All right. That lets you know America ain't sovereign, nigga. America ain't ever been sovereign. America is, if you go back to the flag of America, it goes back to the East Indian Trading Company. Ain't shit changed. It's still owned by England. You stupid?
Yeah. Matter of fact, they really running the whole show. Them and them damn
Amalekites. Look at this.
Because the Rothschilds are what? They're Amalek. And so are the royal family, man. The royal family is really Amalek, man.
That's it.
Yeah, for sure.
They gonna tell you how they stole the damn crown either.
Oh,
Charlotte Sophia going back to.
it was I don't know if it was a Vice video. It was some video. I think it was on YouTube. It was something about they because of the African ancestors. They said, "Oh no, we can't talk about it." He said, "No, I can't talk about it. Now we're talking about it." So you know they go back to
Well, to the so-called look. I just did a video which shows you an angelic son of Isaac. As a matter of fact, if you would go to that video,
right, was that Prince Charles?
Yeah, point on his ass, like nigga.
Yeah. Because he's over Prince Charles.
Yeah. When you go to what was that Westminster Abbey?
Westminster Abbey.
When you look at
Westminster Abbey.
Those tombs, which some they don't allow you to come in, some they don't allow you to see. A lot of them are janky.
Well, you know what?
Going back
I want you to go to a video. We're gonna get ready to wrap it up.
I think
let me see.
King James is very good.
Yeah.
I can't talk about it. There's a lot of video on YouTube.
Yeah, it's called Biblical Joseph depicted as Nubian on the wall of Egypt. Now, let me send this to you. And you got to listen to what they say about Joseph, and then look at the image that they show him, and what that they show of him on the time of. You got to think these images are from the time of Exodus. All right, from around that time period. So, before the time of Exodus, should I say? But here we go. Did they freeze us?
No, I'm just tripping on how I'm just trying to pull up the last thing that was on orders and Esau playing games. But
there it is.
Do you put it in the orders room?
Yeah, it's like a minute and it's a few seconds long. But I've talked about this for many years. I used to have it on the cover. I had this image on the back of one of my apocryphals. But yeah, it's up there now. But nevertheless, what they do is you watch Ishmaelite take a mirror and reflect the sunlight down into a cave, or into the pyramid, and another guy catches his light and puts it on the wall, and then the guy breaks down who these people are on the wall, and the darkest one on the wall is Joseph, which it would explain why his brothers didn't recognize him when they saw him. Number one, they thought he was dead. It had been well over a decade since they had seen him, and he had a bald face and was dressed like an Egyptian. All right.
This the one right here.
So this is the end of your world. Why? Because you're being made bare.
Out of prison to interpret his dreams. Portend 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of famine.
It's only a minute and a few seconds long.
The Pharaoh brings Joseph out of prison to interpret his dreams. Joseph declares that the dreams portend 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of famine. Joseph recommends that the Pharaoh preserve food from the time of abundance for use during the time of famine. The Pharaoh is so impressed by Joseph's plan that he places him in charge of his entire court, a role that is memorialized on the walls of royal tombs.
Pause that. So the images of Joseph was memorialized on the walls of royal tombs. Last year, they just opened up a tomb, a 5,000-year-old tomb in Egypt, and there was nothing in there but brown-skinned people. It was had never been opened before. They just unearthed it. All right, and there was nothing but in there but Hamites and Israelites, basically, which is what you're about to see now.
That's right, brother. And just for the record, with the Dead Sea Scrolls that just got unearthed, even in now most of the Dead Sea Scrolls are in ancient Hebrew, but this one was in Greek. But every time you see the name of the Lord, it was in ancient Hebrew. Just want to say that. Then you know that we knew and we could document it, and we knew the Heavenly Father, and we called him in the Hebrew name. I just want to say that since we're talking about history and what that's got unearthed not too long ago.
So this is Psalms 85.
Egyptologist Dr. Yasser Izzad gave me a guided tour in the Valley of the Kings.
It's one of the most beautiful tombs in this area.
So these are all the images of the.
Yeah, ain't no Finkelsteins in there.
As you see in everywhere here,
No
they
Silversteins.
show the title of the
No Oppenheimers.
blue circle up.
The circle with the dots.
Yeah.
No Netanyahu's.
That's not a Jew.
Ain't no Netanyahu's in here, man.
Yeah, this is Iran. He's the overseer of the city.
There he is. So that there is an angelic son of Isaac. So what the fuck does this, just like I said in the video, where the fuck does you get this wasp from? Where's the white Anglo-Saxon? That is an angelic son of Isaac right there. We're looking at an actual painting, a depiction of Joseph, the father of Ephraim and Manasseh, who are so-called Puerto Ricans and Cubans today.
Yeah, but they changed colors over 4,000 years now. Now we are
Can a leopard change his spots?
Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
Fuck out of here.
Next week it was like 37 cents.
Come on.
God, I got you, brother.
Imhotep, right.
And actually go into
The
that
movie The Mummy, that's who Imhotep was supposed to be depicted. He's really supposed to be Joseph.
in Ron Wyatt.
And that's why they have the whole adultery story and then twisted it like he actually did it.
Right.
They perverted, the Imhotep.
And they also said how he came up with brick masonry, how Egypt became great because of him. Talks about the famine that was coming, how he knew. And he built the big great vats in the ground to store all of the grain. And they went into how he came up with all that.
I always loved this portrait of our ancestor, Queen Charlotte. Even a lifetime special based on the romance of the present-day Duke and Duchess chimed in. Oh, yes. You're of mixed race, Harry. So am I. Why doesn't the Queen just come out and say it?
She can't. She may not. It's one of the things that the royal family cannot do. She'll be stepping into political water.
You're saying that having black lineage is political in today's times.
Highly political.
There it is, man.
I always loved this portrait.
Oh my God.
And they told them themselves. And that's what Esau keep doing, is telling themselves. If you go into Nature Knows No Colonized, where you get that picture of Charlotte Sophia right here, you'll find that picture right here that's on the wall.
It's on the cover of the book.
Of Nature Knows No Color Lines. And this is where England today claims their kingly roots to, which is the woman, Charlotte Sophia, which is not the royal and power. It was the man that was in power.
Yeah,
so once she was married off to an Edomite or sent off wherever the hell you go to the story, you'll find out they claim their royal roots back to Charlotte Sophia. You only have your royal roots through the man, through the male, through the Israelite male, or the king, through the men.
Well, that was the sign of our downfall.
That's it.
All right.
That's it.
That solidified it because the Dark Ages was now over, and we were heading into the Renaissance time, and so Esau's been, well, we all know what he did.
That's it. But for them to claim it and to show it and even have this title here, Queen of England, acknowledge her African ancestor. Why is this not?
And shit African about her.
Absolutely.
She's an Israelite.
That's right.
All right.
That's right.
Israelites.
That's right.
Hey.
But why is this not front page news? Why is this not widely known? Because Esau wants to make sure they sweep this under the rug because they'll actually disprove.
Yeah. Why that story didn't run over and over on Fox, CNN, ABC, and all the
Live News
networks. We're going to bring it out, brother. This is going to be the last one.
This Isaiah 25:7. And he will destroy in this mountain the face of the covering cast over all people and the veil that is spread over all nations.
There it is, man. So that veil, that casting, that lie that you've cast over all people, man, the Lord has removed it through the men of the Lord.
That's it.
All right. So with that, man, we're going to give all praises, glory, and honor unto
Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakakwadash.
Kwam Yasharah.
Hey, stay tuned. We almost out of here.